welcome to Crafting with Craft Elf. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a pom-pom. All you need is some yarn and a sharp pair of scissors. So let's get started. I'm going to work with 2 strands of yarn together. That way I only need to wrap the yarn half as many times around my fingers to get the same results. I'm going to wrap the yarn around 4 of my fingers, and when I get started I'm going to use my thumb just to hold the 2 beginning strands in place until I've gone around a couple times. Then I can move my thumb out of the way and just wrap it quickly. Now for the pom-pom like this, I wrapped the yarn 75 times, 2 strands, 75 times around 4 fingers. So you want to just keep wrapping until you get it as thick and full as you'd like it. Then you're going to cut the yarn so you're no longer connected to your skeins or balls of yarn, and just slide the loops off of your fingers. And you're going to cut a piece of yarn about 10, 12 inches or more, whatever you'd like. Take the yarn you've wrapped, put it in the center, and tie it in a knot. Now a great tip when tying it, when you cross the yarn, the ends of the yarn, and pass it under, you want to pass it under a second time before pulling it, and that will keep it nice and tight as you complete your knot. So there you have your loops of yarn tied in the center with another strand of yarn. When you go to trim this now, some projects you're going to need these pom-poms to join the pom-pom to a hat or whatever object, or if you want to tie more than one together, you're going to want these strings. So I always kind of hold those in my hand so that they don't accidentally get clipped as I'm trimming the pom-pom. Now you take your scissors and you just cut the loops off. And you turn it, cut the loops off of the second side. And while still holding those 2 long strands, you just kind of fluff the rest of it up. And this is where you need to start trimming. You want to go back and cut anything that's long. And you want to just trim until you've got a nice full pom-pom. Don't worry about cutting too much yarn off. If you need a larger pom-pom, you just go back, start again, and wrap it around more times, or wrap it around something larger. If you need a pom-pom that's bigger than this, you can either wrap the yarn around more times, which will give you a bigger, fuller pom-pom, or you can wrap it around something else like a stiff, heavy-duty piece of cardboard or even a book. Sometimes when I'm making larger pom-poms, I like to use the little golden books for children. They're nice and firm and they won't fold as you're wrapping the yarn around. Okay, so there you have it. Now this is a pom-pom made with about the yarn wrapped about 75 times around, which if you were wrapping a single strand, you'd have to wrap it 150 times around to get this effect. This one was made with 60 wraps around your fingers of double strands, so that would be 120 single wraps. And for comparison, this one here, this last one, was only made with 50 wraps around. So the number of times you wrap the yarn around your fingers makes a big difference in the final size of your pom-pom. Now, if you wanted to join the pom-poms, say you made these white and you wanted to make a snowman, you make them in different sizes. You would just tie your ends. I'd wrap it around a couple times, pull it, and then finish the knot. And then you would have the 2 of them tied together. You could glue on some eyes and a carrot nose and some, little dots for a mouth, and glue a hat on, and you have a cute little snowman. If you wanted to put it on the top of a hat, after you've finished the hat, knitting, crocheting, however you were going to make it, you would just pass one of these strands to the inside. I would use a yarn needle, just thread it through the top of the hat. Then I'd turn the hat inside out and I would just knot it, and that would keep it in place on top of the hat. So there are so many things you can do with pom-poms. It's really a great technique. Another thing that I'd like to mention is the weight of the yarn also plays into how many times you need to wrap it around your fingers for a certain size pom-pom. I used worsted weight yarn. If you were using bulky yarn, you wouldn't have to wrap it around as many times. And in the same respect, if you were using a sport weight or a baby weight or finger weight yarn, you'd need to wrap it around a lot more times to get the same size pom-pom. So give it a try. It's really very simple. For complete instructions for this project and many more free craft projects, please visit us at www.craftelf.com. And don't forget to subscribe to us on our YouTube channel and be one of the first to know when we post a new video. Happy crafting!